Hey, instructional designers, it's Dr. Cabasco here. I just wanted to touch base with all of you. I know that you had submitted your replies, your threads to the discussion forum. You had 2 discussion forums that were due last evening, and you completed those. Congratulations. So your introductory posts and your Module 1 posts hopefully will be graded by tomorrow, and I'll get your rubrics and your grade back to you so that way you have some feedback. All right, but I do want to talk quickly about Assignment 1 since that is due next week. What you're viewing in the background here is the instructor page. I'm going to keep it on the instructor page. It's just easier to navigate for me, but the content will still be the same. When we slide on over here to our learning modules, as you all are aware at this point, you'll see Module 1, the big picture. That should be the only one that's probably active for your screen view. And of course, you have all of your table of contents over here. And as we scroll down, I do just kind of want to walk us through quickly your assignment. So I'm going to read it out loud a little bit and then add some of my information as is necessary. So the assignment is 3 parts. It'll be submitted as a single document. The 3 parts of this assignment are as follows. You're going to have an aerial view of your dream classroom, a classroom management plan, and a summary of reflection. So there are your 3 parts. You'll be simulating the role of a teacher throughout the remainder of the course. All assignments will reflect this simulated role. If you're not already begun to do so, then it's time to start referring to yourself in your assignment submissions as Mr., Mrs., Ms., etc. The assignment is worth 10% of your grade. You're going to put forth great effort because it's going to take you some time to do this week. Many schools are requiring classroom management plans and are requiring them to be posted in the classroom as well, which only makes common and good sense. This assignment can have an impact on your future years of teaching, so please see below for further details on each portion of the assignment. You can complete the assignment in pairs or even triads. If you choose to do so, though, each person needs to submit the final product in the assignment submission area, so that's really important. Also, understand that when there are times when I've assigned different grades for different submissions, and that's not because the triad or the couple or the duet didn't work together. It's because that one of the students decided to make some final edits or add some final things or saw some things that are missing, and then they submitted their assignment. It was different from the assignment from the person that they worked with, and so therefore they ended up getting different grades. But typically, obviously, if you submit the same assignment, you're going to get the same grade. So just remember that. And if you choose to work with someone on the assignment, you're going to have to deal with the consequences if that person doesn't follow through. Classroom design. For this assignment, you're going to think about grade level range that you're going to be certified to teach in the future. So if you'd be certified to teach middle grades or high school or elementary or special ed, you want to make sure that you design a classroom for that age group, and you must choose a specific grade and then a subject that you're a candidate for certification. So for instance, 6th grade English or ELA. If you will be certified to teach elementary, then choose a specific grade level. For example, 3rd grade. You'll be designing your future perfect classroom, so you have no constraints besides the criteria below. Space, finances, and location are not constraints for this assignment, so you can use Word, you can use PowerPoint, Publisher, or any other program that you think that I can open a PC to design your classroom. There's so many good stuff, floor planners out there, that it's simply just a Google search away. So those web-based programs I'll take, but you just need to make sure that when you submit them, you're either submitting a PDF of them or you're submitting a link that's easily accessible for me and open, so that way I don't have to register for something. As long as you do that and it's publicly consumable and I can get to it easily, I'm excited, I'm happy. So please review the rubric to see the required criteria for your classroom design. Now, here's your design. I'm not going to read through them and talk about all the details. You can do that, but you need to have the following items: student desk, teacher-led small group area, technology, windows, doors, classroom library. These are the required things that need to be in that class. And then there's some details that describe each. Now, additional option design items to consider. Do you have a teacher work area? Most teachers do. Do you have a place for your bulletin boards? Most teachers do. Is there an inside bathroom? That would be wonderful. Wouldn't it be cool to have a bathroom inside your classroom? Sync with the drinking fountain, separate floors or sections of the classroom that can enhance your instruction. So think out of the box. I know the physical structure is a limiting space in terms of where you're going to teach possibly, but you never know. You might work in a new school and have the opportunity to design that space. This is that opportunity to do so. Now, your classroom management plan is reflective. Also, if you haven't read Chapter 11, this is critically important. Chapter 11 will help you think about your classroom management plan. But as you create this plan, you're going to keep in mind all the structures that we have covered in relation to our environment thus far this semester. For example, design, learning theories, etc. Some of you previously touched upon classroom management strategies in your classroom design above through the use of a reflection chair or behavior cards or etc. But you just want to keep in mind that your management plan is something that's critically important and it permeates all parts of what you do as a teacher. So for this plan, you're going to come up with 5 to 7 rules, procedures for your classroom. For each rule, you need to list specifications that define the expectations for that particular rule. Please see the example for further clarification. I have them listed below. These clarifications exemplify what following the rule looks like on a daily basis. When wording your rules, it is imperative to choose a neutral tone and to avoid any negative tone at all. If I see some semblance of a negative tone, and it's understandable because it's hard, you're thinking differently than you might have before, I do look for this to deduct points. So, for example, it's important to leave the word no out of the rules. If you want to have a rule about bullying, avoid saying do not put down your classmates, and instead say use only kind words to one another. The attached example of classroom management plan was used in a 2nd grade, a 5th grade, a 6th grade classroom. So please note, it's just a start for a final product for this assignment. Refer to the criteria and the grading rubric below for all the specifications on expectations. But in a nutshell, the following criteria for a classroom management: you have to have your name, preferably in the title, 5 to 7 appropriate and effective rules and procedures, defining details, explaining what the rules and procedures look like when followed, a list of appropriate incentives for students who follow the rules and procedures. The incentives should be listed in order of value. The incentive at the bottom should be considered the most excellent prize. Please note, for full credit in this area, it is a requirement to have parent contact in here somewhere as an incentive, as this is the best practice. A list of appropriate consequences for students who are struggling with following the rules or procedures. Those consequences can be listed in order of severity of punishment, with the consequence at the bottom of the list being the most severe punishment. Please note, for full credit again in this area, it's a requirement to have parent contact in there. Parent contact is best practice. I can tell you this from experience. It's one of the more difficult things you have to do as a teacher is to call home and let them know that their child is misbehaving or off task. But guess what? If parent contact is also built in to when students are doing things well, what a great incentive. A parent loves to hear from teachers when their child is performing admirably in class. And the last part, or your third part, is your summary. You're going to complete a short reflective summary between 250 and 500 words. This explains the criteria that influenced your decisions for both your classroom design and the rules procedures for your management plan. While designing a classroom and developing your plan, try to picture yourself in the room as a teacher. Think about resources you might need. Visually simulate yourself into that teacher role. Proper citation should be reflected. What I mean by that is that you have got to make sure that you're referencing your book, referencing your articles that you've read, referencing somewhere in there external resources that play a part into this whole philosophical design, whether it's your classroom design, whether it's your classroom management plan. Just make sure in your summary that you are citing resources. I really want some external resources. Doesn't have to be any more than 1 or 2, but they should be there. All right, here's your rubric. When complete, and by the way, I just want to point down here, you do have student examples available to you that I have included, so just take a look at those before I may even add another one. Who knows, maybe one from last semester, and that way you have an opportunity to see a couple or 3 that may be of value. If you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to contact me. I am here to help. I'm available, Monday's going to be Labor Day, but I'm available tomorrow, Friday. I'm available Tuesday, and even Wednesday to help and to assist you with this assignment. Okay? Thanks.